What up, everyone? We're back with some more modern action. I'm, of course, NanMans, bringing you guys all the coverage here over at NanMans Nerd Corner, and we've got Esper Blink versus Tezzeret Tron here. Now, both these decks are a bit grindy. One is a little bit more explosive when the game goes a little bit longer. It's got the bigger, crazier creatures like we see right now, Devourer of Destiny coming out, which allows us to do some almost surveilling style, not really surveilling because they're putting in exile, but we look at the top 4 cards of our library. We're going to be able to put up to 1 card there on the top, and the rest go into exile. So you can set yourself up if you're, like, in this case, playing a colorless Tron land or colorless Tron deck. A lot of variations on Eldrazi decks and Tron decks currently in the meta. This one is utilizing the Tezzeret from Edge of Eternities to try to be able to utilize a bunch of different artifacts. It becomes a little bit more toolboxy because, you know, we already have a toolbox style with Karn, the Great Creator, and being able to have a bunch of artifacts in the sideboard. This allows us to kind of almost double up on that number and put even more into the deck, give us things like Chalice of the Voids and stuff like that. But the other side of things, we've got our Esper Blink here. This is a Ketramos Blink. Most lists have kind of peeled off the Ketramos style, but it is utilizing things like, you see Overlord of the Balemark, Quantum Riddlers, Solitudes as the big creatures that it's got, like the 5 drops, and then everything else is just sort of lower than that, trying to blink and get double value off of things. But we will be seeing turn 2 Overlord, but a turn 3 Tron is assembled. 1 + 1 + 1 equals 7 here. Oh, waste was revealed on accident. So we're going to see what sort of way we go. I mean, we saw the Devourer, so Devourer could easily come up and just pop and get rid of the Overlord here. That is definitely a possibility. Oh, but we got a Tezzeret. So are we going to just play Tezzeret? Nah, clear it up. Let's clear the path, exile this pesky enchantment that will become a creature. So what is your guys' shop looking like? What's the meta look like at your area? You know, we got to feature last week a Boggle deck versus a Rhino deck. We've been able to feature all kinds of different stuff, but hold on, hold that thought. Sire Vondum, Sunstar Exemplar coming out. So Vigilance, Menace, whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a +1 counter on this and you gain a life. So works really well, high synergy with Ketramos if you're going to be blinking stuff and normally losing life off of Ketramos to draw a card. This basically makes it so you don't lose a life, net 0. And the more counters you get on it, if it were to disappear, you could be able to vindicate something, well, specifically a non-land, but still destroy a non-land permanent if it's got 4 or more power. So you just need to blink 2 things and then you could be able to get the value. Also, Vigilance is pretty nice. So Tezzeret's going to come. Let's tutor up a... Let's see, what do we got? Search your library for an artifact card. Oh, Vexing Bauble is going to be the choice here. So basically stopping the free stuff. So that means like the Evoke a Solitude. I'm going to pay no mana for it. So, but we see a Vexing Bauble attempt to be cast. That means that we have to go for the Solitude now before that resolves. And then we're going to do a blinking of it. So let's make sure it sticks around. And we get to be able to clear out and get rid of the Devourer. And this will also cause a life gain off Servandum and a +1 counter on it. So it currently has 3 power. If it gets to be 4, that's when we get to start destroying non-land permanents. So we'll see if that will be the case or not with this deck. I mean, setting up looking like that is definitely a possibility with the Ephemerate. But we couldn't be able to cast it, though, because Vexing Bauble prevents us from casting it for the price of for free. So not going to be able to blink it there. So Vexing Bauble, very good at utilizing that card in the main board there. Especially with the way things are set up for the list and the amount of blink decks that run around. Ooh, that's pretty good. Hey, command. Let's get rid of that Servandum before she can get out of hand. So anything that costs 2 or less. So it should be exiled, though. Then we're going to make 2 Scions. So went to the graveyard. I'm not sure if it'll be relevant or not in this, but with Ketramos available, that is something to keep track of because there needs to be 7 cards in exile. So there's already 4. That would be putting it to 5. So I said, I'd like to send this at your Tezzeret, which will be, or I think the wording that I use is, I'd like to eat one of your Eldrazi spawns, please. Because you just basically block with it and then sacrifice, so no life will be gained there. Blockers declared, no actual damage. Ugin coming out, Eye of the Storms. So, of course, we have our cast trigger, exile this, and then we're going to start gaining some more life. Because the 7 life we gained was not enough. Oh, I guess there's 5 cards in it. So 6? There would have been 6, because I see the Devourer is underneath the graveyard there in exile. It's just not in the top exile pile there, but... So, yeah, that would have been 7, basically making sure that Ketchamos would be online. But, problem is, once Ugin is out, it basically shuts down the Esper Blink deck. It is too, like, grindy and mid-rangey of a deck. Like, it's so interesting to see how Modern has developed and changed from the old days of like 2015 to 2018 era, where if you were playing a mid-range deck, you were playing like a Jund style or a, you know, green-black pile of stuff. And now it's like if you're playing a mid-range deck, it is going to have blue in it with like Quantum Riddlers and things like that. Of course, you could play anything, right? We talk about this all the time on the channel, is Modern is such a diverse and fun format that you can sit here and play stuff. Like we played Selesnya Boggles recently. We were playing a Death Shadow Fairy deck. You know, there was, of course, Abzan Rhinos that have been featured on the channel. So, like, you can play all kinds of weird and off-meta decks for sure. But there's also, of course, like we see here, of the more meta featured decks, Esper Blink, Tezzeret Tron. Now, these are twists on the kind of existing ones that are in the meta, right? A lot of the Blink have moved away and moved into the Jeskai version, which we will be having featured on the channel soon. We've got a Jeskai Blink versus Mud, and that's going to be an exciting one. We've got, yeah, Mud, that's the other one, right? We've got some Mud gameplay, some Artifact Powerhouse games to be able to show you guys. We talked about it previously, is that we're going to also have bonus content at the end of the month, because the first Saturday of the month will be our MTGO content, and our last Saturday of the month will be our, you know, bonus stuff, standard gameplay, legacy gameplay, some Pioneer maybe sprinkled in. So we're going to blink this with Felia and deal 2 damage to clean up Tezzeret. I mean, we're basically, Ugin's going to run away with the game here. We've talked about it, but let's see what can happen. What is our Tron player going to draw? They got lots of mana, lots of ways to interact with things. Oh my gosh. Spend all that time killing that Tezzeret, and now here is another Tezzeret going to come out. Yep. I love the art for that one, too. Sitting in that, like, throne. Oh, it's so good. I just have the other art for it in my deck, because I have a Tezzeret Tron list. Mine has green included in it. I liked having things like, you know, almost like an old school style Tron list with, you know, using a couple spheres and stars and ancient stirrings and, you know, things like that, just because I had all those cards and wasn't using it. As like, when I rebuilt Tron, I was like, yeah, I should build it like optimal for the new stuff, but also like there's something nostalgic about playing like old cards and old stuff. Like, oh yeah, this is the big reason why Glaring Fleshraker exists, because you're having a bunch of low cost artifacts. You can start like really shredding your opponent. But Kozilek's Command, this is going to be a problem. Let's exile 2 things and make 2 dudes, trigger off the Kozilek's Command, make an Eldrazi spawn, slice you for 1. 2 more of these drones will enter. That will also be 2 more damage. So slicing and dicing. So that's basically one of the easiest ways to win. I mean, some of the lists do still run the big things like, all right, here's my Emrakul and things like that on the top end, but we are at 11 right now, so we could just do the ultimate. That's the other thing, too. It's so easy to get Ugin up to the ultimate status here. Uptick. Not going for... I guess we want to keep it around, right? We're really just going to make sure we win this here. Gain some more life. We're at 35 to 15. Ooh, 2 cards in the hand of the Esper Blink player. Combat, bring the beats. Here's 2 damage. No Felia blocks here. 0 and untap it. If it was an artifact, we'd put a counter on it, but it is not. But that's that's interesting. Yeah, so I guess it's just set up. All right, I'd like to win off the Ugin next turn and keep it around just in case. Wow, Tezzeret number 4. I mean, we're showing off the Tezzeret Tron list. Might as well have all Tezzerets going to show up on the camera here for the game 1. We were talking through it. It's like, just you ultimate Ugin, just go get the rest of your Flesh Rakers and kill me. All right, search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards, exile them, shuffle your library, and then till the end of the turn, you cast those cards without paying your mana cost. Now, Vexing Bauble is out, so we have to pop that. They go into exile, and you may cast them this turn. So you basically are, I'm going to gather up all my cards. And this is also like seeing what it is. Ugh, I hate that Sire of 7 deaths. Ugh. All right, Flesh Raker, Flesh Raker, Flesh Raker, 2 Sires. And then pop the Vexing Bauble, draw a card. Now we can send and be like, boop, 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 boop. Basically, it was like, I want to see what you're getting. Now let's go to game 2. Yeah, game 2 there. Very exciting. We're interrupting our gameplay to let you know about our new affiliate with NerdGear. Nerdgear.gg/NanMan will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanman for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay. Yeah, game 1 of the books, Tezzeret Tron takes the lead in this best of 3 series here. Now we cut out the sideboarding. We are going to be going into game number 2 here, so we'll see what sort of sideboard option. I mean, this is where it goes, oh, we're playing blue, so let's bring in our consigned memories that we know are sitting here on our board and try to have a better position for going into game number 2. Will our Tezzeret player have to mulligan? Do they have a Devour in hand? Don't Thoughtseize me. the worry of like, oh no, I'm gonna get Thoughtseize on turn 1. Nope, no Thoughtseize. No turn 1 Thoughtseize. So we got sucked into a new project outside of Magic. If you guys are following us along on the social media side of things, we started posting up some pictures. We are starting to gather up and take apart our base to vintage decks for Pokemon. This is like the original, like 3, I guess 4 if you count like the second printing of stuff. Basically the first 4 sets before we got into Gym Heroes and Rocket and stuff like that. And I'm going to turn it into a cube. So I did my first set of 32 Psychic Pokemon that will be included in the cube. So that was very exciting to be able to do. I mean, this is like your evolution lines of Alakazam, right? Abracadabra, Alakazam. We also have our evolution lines for Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. And then what's great about the Psychic in those base sets are just the singleton stuff. Mew, Mewtwo, Mr. Mime, and a Jinx. So, ooh, Glaring Fresh Shaker, Felia coming out here. So yeah, we're going to be posting up. We'll probably do some videos about that Cube stuff in the future because I love Cube. As much as I love Modern and stuff like that, Cubes are so great for just curating and having an awesome collection. I have a Vintage Cube. I've got a multiplayer Conspiracy Cube. I used to have a Ravnica Cube. I started to take that apart. I gathered up the stuff to make a Bloomburrow Cube, and that never got off the ground. But like, I love cubes so much. So we're trying it with other card games too, like Pokemon. But there's the Thoughtseize coming out here. So we've got an All Is Dust Devourer and a Karn, the Tin Man edition, as our Tezzeret Tron player was calling it. So basically looking at this, it goes, okay, what is the scariest thing? What is things that we can't really deal with? So part of it is, there are the exile effects. Like if we're worried about the artifacts, Karn is a great one to be able to grab. If we're worried about, there's going to be a few turns before at least Devour is out, but all his does, it looks like, is the scarier one because that gets rid of basically all of the things that we would be worried about keeping around, right? A board wipe is pretty good, but that will be stripped away, so we don't have to worry about that for now, and it's just singleton action that we've got to be worried about now.
If he didn't realize that now, I don't know what to tell you. Yes.
And I'm not saying this to be extra. I'm saying this because, come on. Is a turn 1 meltdown going to matter if Cannoneer is on the field?
It is not.
Yeah, there was a discussion with some of the players there about I think it was, is it prowess versus is it affinity, and like a, turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer or turn 1 Kappa Cannoneer or something crazy like that. But we've got a Felia coming across for 2 saying, would you like to trade? But Riddler's going to come out and we'll do some blinking action here. All right, take the 2. I mean, keeping the Flesh Rake around makes a lot of sense because we are going to be setting ourselves up for a position to, get a bunch of spawns, deal a bunch of damage. But, I mean, our opponent, like, Esper Blink players already at 13, all from fetching, shocking, thought seizing. Like, they've beaten themselves up for sure. You'd think they were playing Death Shadow or something like that. All right, let's see. Devour. All right, now we got 4 mana. Is it Karn time? Oh, wait, no, we've got... Yeah, we do 4. I was like, do we only have 3? No, we have 4. Math is hard. Trigger, we get a spawn.
That guy flies, right?
It's like, that guy flies, correct? All right, what are we going to grab here? Karn is going to be looking for the toolboxy tools here. I mean, there's like ways to go about this, and you can decide, do I want to set myself up for later? Am I expecting that this Karn will die? Like, a lot of people will go, okay, let's get a way to turn your stuff into artifacts and start blowing them up. But if Karn's not around, that becomes less impactful. So then it's like, okay, what toolbox card could I get that will help set me up? Should I go for, like, a ensnaring bridge? Should I get, like, a worm coil engine? And not that many people run them anymore. I still have a one of in mind, but... it just depends on like what you need. That's the exciting part of it. So let's see. -2. Let's get a little cheeky peek at what we got. Okay. Nah, so far nothing that helpful here. Okay, Torpil Orb is nice. So again, it's like we're doing the setup. We're going to get something. So this prevents ETB effects from going off. And with the Esper Blink, that's a lot of what it's trying to do. Now, it will shut off the Glaring Flesh Rakers. Like, we won't drain. We'll still be able to make Eldrazi, but... so that doesn't get deployed yet. So this is the turn to say, okay, is there a way that we can kind of capitalize and push for damage here? All right, 4 mana. I mean, Quantum Riddler is going to come across, right? We know that much. Ooh, Servandum.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so we're starting to see the synergies, right? Part of the reason we have this card in here is for things like this, where you get to do some blinking. Now, if we blink our own Quantum Riddler here, yes, we get counters on all the stuff, but Karn stays alive and allows one more toolbox stuff. So we will blink the spawn, kill the Karn, and still send 3 across here. So dropping our Tezzeret Tron player to 15. I mean, they got the Torpil Orb, but now they're left with not much to go. Like, the Devour is still available, but not for a few turns, right? Let's see, we get another Eldrazi Temple out, 2, 4, 5, 6 mana, so that's still not until next turn, essentially. We got a map, though, so we could do Torpil Orb, map, and set up, and then try to get the Devourer next turn, bring it back, and then exile the Quantum Riddler here. It's not a bad plan. Alright. Map. Trigger. Make a spawn. Drain. Drops our Esper player to 11. I mean, this little bit of incremental just like slicing damage, right? Death of 1,000 cuts is kind of what the Tezzeret Tron player is trying to do. They're trying to set up these sort of like, I'm slowly going to just slice away at you through my glaring flesh rakers and being able to just kind of set myself up for victory that way. Or we can pivot into, all right, I'll get a Ugin and we'll just start exiling things. But that's the other debate about the Torpor Orb, right? Because you can't be able to do both. You can't shut off your opponent while also having the, you know, the Glaring Fleshraker deal damage. Because the Torpor Orb does both. It shuts off everybody. Everyone loses ETB effects. All right, so now that's the question too, is like, should I have just gotten a Ensnaring Bridge? But no, we're going to go for the Torpor Orb here.
Oh, yeah.
Ephemerate Blinkies. So we get some triggers. This will allow us to gain a life, put a +1 counter on it. Glaring Fleshraker triggers, but before Torpor Orb resolves. So yeah, we got a lot of triggers going off. Make a guy, lose a life. Still at 11 because Servandum allows us to gain a life. All right, we're seeing a lot of like the high synerginess of the Blink deck. The way that I have it designed is a big reason why I love playing this deck, is because of these little nuances. Oh, this triggers this triggers that, this goes with this, like these little like overlap abilities. Of course, if you want to see any of these decks, they do have them posted up, or we have them posted up on our Mox field. You can see the link in the description for that. And here's a Ketramos. Bring the beats. We're going to blink this Ketramos. Triggers. He'll see himself. You'll lose a life, but Servandum will see that. So she'll get a counter and will basically net 0 and draw a card. This is exactly why we put Servandum in here with this Ketramos shenanigans here. So, and now Servandum has enough that she can start to blow something up. So we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 coming across. I mean, 2 of them can get blocked by spawns if we wanted to, but the 4 saying no blocks. So we're setting ourselves up here, it looks like. End step, this will come back. So we're checking to see if it gets... we're checking to see if Torpor Orb shuts down the counter, right? Because it's based off of it coming back. So it says, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered your control, put a +1 counter on Felia. So creatures entering don't cause abilities to trigger. So because it enters, it doesn't actually... We're ruling it as it doesn't actually get the +1 counters, because it's basically listed as, when it comes under the battlefield under your control, get a +1 counter. And it says no. Torpor Lord says no ETBs, no enter the battlefield effects may go off.
Yeah, I had to, because I was gonna. It was bad.
All right, let's see, what can our Tezzeret Tron player do? Oh, they have a dismember. They go, I need a swamp. That's a sweet looking, what is that, Gemstone Caverns?
It would work good with her. I could kill
All right, game number 3, all tied up 1-1. We'll see what happens there. So, yeah, we got to see basically the Tezzeret Tron list do its thing in game 1. We got to see the Esper Blink deck do its thing in game 2. Now we're getting into it for all the marbles. Who will be able to take it in game number 3? Will it be another Ugin run away with the game? Will the Quantum Riddler draw us a bunch of cards here? Let's get into it and see. Keeping. All right, keeping the 7. a Devour. Pre-game effect. Oh, a Flesh Raker, an Ugin, a Tron Land. Oh, 2 Flesh Rakers is not what you want to see up at the top. That is a tough spot to be in. We'll grab the land, put the Flesh Raker. So that's also the, like, telling thing of, like, okay, either you have an Ugin in your hand already, or you're in desperate need of a land, and so you've put a land on top. All right, land go. It looks like it's going to be a nice little turn 3 Tron assembled here.
Stealthy with what I keep.
Natural Tron. Oof.
Coming my way in a second. It's just like, my deck is like, hey, let's do this like cool little Blink value stuff. And
I
like,
think that's the only reason why they played Devour, so they could just easily fight Strong.
yeah.
That's just the easier way for me, because otherwise I can't do it. With the blue one, I've always seemed to have a lot of trouble. I don't know why.
All right, Surveil keeping it on top. Looks like a Thoughtseize, which is nice. Yep, we'll start out with a Thoughtseize and see what scary stuff is there.
Man, he's actually got annoying from the inside.
Oh, big scary. Oh my gosh, it's all scary stuff. So we've got a Tezzeret, which we're not that worried about. Look at the waste. Oh my gosh, the Fallout waste. We've got a Sire. We've got a Ugin. We've got a Devour. So Sire and Ugin are definitely the scariest. Ugin is going to be the one that gets grabbed every time, though. Just the triggers every time you're casting something to exile it is just like too hard to come back from. Sire is really tough and really annoying, but there's ways to fight against it. All right, so it looks like we've got 2 options here as the Tron player. We can go for the Tezzeret and start getting just value artifacts, right? Now that we have Tron assembled, or we go Sire and just set ourselves up to, you know, deal a lot of damage and have a protection for the follow-up Tezzeret on the next turn. You know, I think the Sire makes a lot of sense to go for here, especially because there's no pressure on the other side, and having that out is going to be kind of that brick wall. Being Vigilance, being Lifelink, like it's having Reach, like it's got all the things we could want. All right, the debate. Oh, looks like we're going to go for the Tezzeret here. Tezzeret the Seeker. The blue one. Not Tezzeret the Seeker here. But yeah, so we'll be able to tutor up an artifact. Vexing Bobble here. All right, search for mana value 1 or less. So Vexing Baubles, Chalice of the Void. That's a pretty good one. Chalice on 1. Shut off the Ephemerates. Also shuts off Consigns.
I didn't get the other one because I thought you were going to consign.
All right, artifact entered. Tezzeret will go up in loyalty. Okay, I like that Chalice play, though. All right, 16. Going fetching down. Another Surveil land here. That's the other thing. How many Surveil lands are you running in your decks? I love Surveil lands, but certain ones, like a 3-color list, I'll run like 2 Surveil lands, maybe 3 if it's like a 3-color list or something like that. But also, it's like, can you afford to have a bunch of lands enter tapped?
That's cool. Yeah, that's neat. I guess his ability.
All right, let's see. 3 mana and gonna pass here. Is this a Felia line? Probably a Felia then. Labyrinth, no imprinting. Ooh. All right, there's the Karn. Now we're really going to get things going with the artifact synergy. Karn and Tezzeret together. You'll see just how good that is with the artifact and toolboxiness of the deck.
Good though. She's annoying. Gets in the way.
So this is the point where we're feeling pretty good about things, that we could get away with trying to turn our opponent's lands into artifacts and just kind of go basically planeswalker control element. But we'll see what's the choice here. Yeah, Torpil Orb is a possibility. Pithing Needles aren't really helpful. Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, okay, looks like we are going to be doing some little bit of shenanigans with the artifacts here. All right, 3 mana. Attempt to cast Liquid Metal Coating. ETB, let's get another counter on Tezzeret. We go and dig again, find something else. We technically have 2 mana still available to us, so we could do that. Pass and turn. All right, end step. Yep, there's the Felia. Upkeep. What are we going to turn off? Ooh, turning off that. So we've got, I don't know, I think the blue source makes a lot of sense, but it doesn't really matter because there's another blue source. But I think that was like the debate of, is the black source more important than the blue source? Probably the black source, actually. I don't know. Blue source, right? What are you more worried about? Riddler or the Overlord of the Bailmark? Maybe Overlord because it gets so much value. All right, Riddler, blinking it in here, or sorry, warping it in here, drawing a card. What are we going at? Karn? Yeah, attack Karn, blink this. We'll draw a card, put a counter on Felia here. Okay, this is still going to be tough because Sire is about to come out. And that's going to be that brick wall that we were looking for. Because even if we try to flicker it with Felia... Oh my gosh! Felia can flicker Chalice. Felia... So if we are starting to get consigns or ephemerates, attack with Felia, blink the Chalice. Chalice will enter with 0 counters. I mean, that stops like Solitude... No, because wait, Chalice is converted mana cost, right?
I mean, you got this, so it's like
I guess you can replicate it.
Chalice of the Void. Whenever a player casts a spell with mana value, yeah. So even if you're paying the alternate cost of Evoke, Chalice doesn't stop it. All right, blowing up a land here. There's the Sire. First strike, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Lifelink, Ward, pay 7 life. And when you're at 14, that is a problem. Oh, the 0. Untapped Liquid Metal Coating is wild. All right, now we're going to float a blue. And it fizzled. Okay. All right, combat. Kill Karn here. All right, so if we attacked with Riddler and Felia blinks the Chalice. I don't know if we have Ephemerate in hand, but like if we did and we're trying to do that route, right? There's Solitude. Pitching Flicker Wisp here. Lose 7 life to get rid of that. All right, gain 7. Wow, lose 7, gain 7. That's crazy. But yeah, no Ephemerate able to be used. But if we'd done that in combat, declare attackers. We'll send the team here and here. So this is where we should be blinking the Chalice. Right? I think that's the misplay here of... Right, because right there we just lose the relic for free. Because we missed. Oh! Yeah, it's like watching this back is those moments, and that's part of the reason why we are posting up and doing these videos here is for players to learn from mistakes and see these moments of going, hey, next time you can be able to do these things. It's not just like once Chalice is out, you can't interact with it, because I've played for so long and so many decks that just get hosed by Chalice that it's usually when it's there, I'm like, well, unless I draw like a Paseju or something like that, I guess I just die to this Chalice just stopping me from playing. But no, we have a way to deal with it with Felia. All right, Karn is here again. Let's go find something. What are we looking for here? Is now the time for Torpil Orb? Is now the time for bridge? Let's slow it down. Everybody slow down. We need to just stop the combat, stop attacking. Let's get ourselves set up here. I'm going to just play it. Lightning bolt. You may not use this land right now. Just in case. And in Snaring Bridge, there's one card in hand right now. Going to 6. And now that Bridge is out, now there's definitely no way to interact with Chalice. Oh, so with Bridge, Karn, and Liquid Metal Coating basically locks it up so your opponent cannot have lands. From now on, it's just going, nope, 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 uptick every turn, get rid of your lands.
Right. I bought this specifically because Chris doesn't really like it that much. So
Our Tron player said, I bought this Karn art specifically because my buddy Chris does not like it. That's good. Hey, if you're not trolling your friends, what are you doing, right?
yeah, Trunky.
Trunky. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, and there's a Flicker Wisp here. So you can cast Flicker Wisp. Or is Flicker Wisp only your creature? Or only your stuff? No, I think it's anything, right? Oh, Overlord, okay. When this creature then exile another target permanent, yeah. Grab a frog, because there's not much else in the graveyard here. Play Flicker Wisp. Get rid of Bridge. That works pretty well.
oh, yeah.
All right, bring the beats.
Combat. Trigger.
Blink this.
We're gonna have 4 come at you
Yeah.
and 3 come at Karn.
Okay, that worked pretty well.
End step.
End step, this will come in. We'll mill 1, 2, 3, and 4. What do we care about here? Anything in our graveyard? There's a Solitude. You can grab a Solitude, but now we're going to grab the Felia here.
He doesn't want to attacks too, right? Yeah.
Then I'll pass.
He can get back in.
Okay, there's already a Solitude in hand. So getting the Felia there is basically like fuel for the Solitude. All right. Now that 2 of the Karns are gone, we're in just sort of waiting mode. We can't attack at the moment. Oh, a Devour. The question is, it's like, what do we get rid of, right?
Yeah, sure.
The Flicker Wisp makes a lot of sense.
Okay, good.
He's like double checking. You don't have any in your graveyard or anything, do you? All right, Snaring Bridge, though, still locking things up. This is the element we talk about so much with the Tron decks, is the longer the game goes on, the more likely it is for a Tron deck to be able to top deck into something scarier. Like the live draws that are available for the Blink player are, you know, they're very mid-rangey, where the live draws available for a Tron player is like, you know, Ugins. Oh, console command's going to be really good. Let's exile a creature with 2 mana value or less. We'll get rid of Felia here. And then scry and draw. 1 and 1 looks like we're going to go with here. Draw for turn. 2 cards in hand. Oh no, another Karn. Oh, and now we're getting into bigger, scarier, toolboxy items we can go for. I want to say that there is like a city leveler or a, you know, other type of big, scary thing that we could go for to try to close out the game here. But let's see. Oh, is there a walking ballista? Oh no. If there's a walking ballista, the game's basically just locked up, right? Because how much mana we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 mana, so 3/3. All right, Torpal Orb. Yeah, let's basically try to set ourselves up with more hate pieces. All right, Torpal Orb. Creatures ending don't cause abilities to trigger. What is that? A talisman? Mind Stone? I think it's Mind Stone. Yeah, it looks like Mind Stone. 2 blues, 2 black, 5 white. Let's get rid of that Hallowed Fountain. You can't use it this turn. I mean, that stops the Solitude from being hard cast there, right? No cards in hand, though, so Frog can't even attack there. But let's pop this Mind Stone, draw a card.
No, he's got 0 cards now.
Oh, that'll do it. Sire here. Play Sire. Basically say, here's my brick wall. You cannot get through this. Nothing you can do now. Double checking the Karn board, though. All right, Tezzeret Blink. Wait, you're at 6? Hold on a second. Let's do it right now. Here's the walking ballista. How much mana do we got here? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here's a 5/5. Walking ballista for 5. Next turn, that basically says, hey, you have 1 turn. Cast the map. Trigger, it gets countered. I don't think that actually blinking the channels maybe made much of a difference in this matchup, but because we haven't really seen any ephemerates or consigns or anything, but oh, Emperor of the Bones.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I thought it. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it enters. I thought it did.
All right, beginning of combat. What are we gonna get rid of? Oh, is there a Flicker Wisp? It's like, are there any creatures in here? No. Get this Riddler. Oh, but Torpal Orb stops the draw. Oh no. All right, putting a counter on him. Let's bring this guy out. Would like to draw cards, but Torpal Orb says you may not draw cards. No. Let's put another counter on it. I would like to machine gun this down. Pew, pew, pew. Here's this Flashed in Solitude evoked. doesn't really do anything. Here's an ephemerate, doesn't really do anything. None of it works. None of it matters. What a way to end that one. Grindy stuff. I do feel like maybe I don't think the chalice made much of a difference. It's just like the game got away from the Esper Blink player and Tezzeret Tron, able to show the power of just the artifact synergies with Karn, with Tezzeret. Very cool way to set things up here. But now we get to see a little bit about the sideboard stuff. What are the cards that players were able to bring in these matchups? Yeah, we can start to see the consigns coming in. Carrion feeder there. Is that what that is? Clarion something? Artifacts and planeswalkers can't activate their abilities. And some singleton stuff. Sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice a planeswalker. Get rid of graveyards. So actually a decent number of cards brought in for our Blink player. Looks like our Tezzeret Tron player probably not really bringing up stuff, but we get to see what their Karn board looks like here, which is cool. And their discussion about whether or not they should keep stuff. Should they need these things? You know, it's a pretty solid one. It's like it stops Snapcaster, it stops some of the Yogg stuff, Green Sun, so it's pretty good. The debate about should this be good, like it's okay, but that's probably the weakest of the board if you're looking for a spot to open up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Nice little bit of a long one for us to start off the week. Hope you guys enjoyed this awesome modern action here. We've got plenty more every Monday and Thursday for you to be able to check out. So thanks so much for tuning in and watching, everyone. That's going to do it for us here today. We'll see you all next game.